Hi guys, this is Vijay and I hope you're doing well. In this video lecture, I am going to talk about the basic concept of heat transfer, thermal conductivity. Before understand the concept of thermal conductivity, we need to understand Fourier law for conduction. So let's start with Fourier law of heat conduction. According to the statement of Fourier law of heat conduction, Fourier law of heat conduction is an empirical law based on observation and state that the rate of flow of heat through a simple homogeneous solid is directly proportional to the area of the section at right angles to the direction of heat flow and to change of temperature with respect to the length of the path of the heat flow. So mathematically it can be represented by the equation Q proportional to A into dt by dx, where Q is heat flow through a body per unit time in watt, where A is surface area of heat flow which is perpendicular to the direction of flow in meter square, where dt is temperature difference of the faces of block of thickness dx through which heat flows in degree Celsius or in Kelvin, and dx means it is the thickness of body in direction of flow in meter. So whenever we remove the proportionality, so thus Q equal to minus Ka dt by dx, where K is the constant of proportionality and is known as thermal conductivity of the body. The negative sign will represent in equation is to take care of the decreasing temperature along with the direction of increasing thickness or direction of heat flow. We know that whenever the heat will transfer in a body of thickness dx, so continuously the temperature difference will be decreases with respect to direction of heat flow. So here we are using negative sign. So this negative sign will represent to the heat will flow from higher to lower, and it will be continuously decreases with respect to thickness, and dt by dx is known as the temperature gradient, and the temperature gradient dt by dx is always negative along positive x direction, and therefore the value of Q becomes positive. Now we rearrange the equation of Fourier law of heat conduction. So we can also write K equal to Q upon A into dt by dx. So the unit of K is watt per meter degree Celsius or watt per meter Kelvin. Thus the thermal conductivity of a material is defined as follows: the amount of energy conducted through a body of unit area and unit thickness in unit time when the difference in temperature between the phases causing the heat flow is unit temperature difference. So here you can remember either unit or either equation, so you can remember the definition on the basis of that. So the definition of thermal conductivity is the amount of energy conducted through a body of unit area and unit thickness in unit time when the difference in temperature between the phases causing the heat flow is unit temperature difference. The thermal conductivity of a material is a measure of the ability of the material to conduct the heat. It is the thermal property of material. It plays an important role in the heat transfer. A high value of thermal conductivity indicates that the material is a good heat conductor, and a low value indicates that the material is a poor heat conductor or insulator. In this table, the thermal conductivity of some common material is given. Here you can see that the thermal conductivity of silver, copper, aluminum is given. The thermal conductivity of silver at room temperature is K equal to 410 watt per meter Kelvin. Here you can see that, and the meaning or which indicates that 1 meter thick silver wall will conduct heat at a rate of 410 watt per meter square area per degree Celsius temperature difference across the wall, and the unit of thermal conductivity is watt per meter Kelvin or watt per meter degree Celsius. Its value is higher for good electrical conductors like as copper and single crystal like as diamond. Thermal conductivity in case of a pure metal is highest. It decreases with increase in impurities. Next in order are alloys of metal and non-metals, and liquid have thermal conductivity less than these materials, and gases have the least value of thermal conductivity. So this can be arranged in sequence of higher thermal conductivity. So here you can see that pure metals and single crystal like as diamond has a higher thermal conductivity. Then after next one is alloys. Its thermal conductivity is less than pure metals or crystals. Then after the sequence is non-metal and liquids, and the lowest thermal conductivity in case of a gases. So here you can see that it will be arranged in higher order of thermal conductivity sequence. So higher is the pure metals or single crystal, and the lowest thermal conductivity we found in gases. Now we will discuss the mechanism of heat transfer in solid. In solid, the heat is conducted by the following two mechanisms. The first one is by transport of free electrons. Free electrons provide an energy flux in the direction of decreasing temperature. For example, metals, especially good electrical conductors. The electron mechanism is responsible for the major portion of the heat flux except at low temperature. And second one is by lattice vibration. So in case of a lattice vibration, the faster moving atoms in the hottest part of the body transfer heat by impacts some of their energy to nearby molecules. It is called lattice vibration. So let us take one example of a metal rod. Whenever we supply the heat energy to any metal rod at point A, so B point is automatically heated. So what's happened in the metal rod? So this metal rod is made by number of molecules. So whenever we supply the heat energy at point A, and we know that heat is a temperature difference, heat is energy due to temperature difference. So it will transfer the heat from A point to B point because of free electrons and lattice vibration. So due to temperature difference at point A, these molecules will vibrate at mid position, and it will give the kinetic energy to the next molecules, and next to next it will transfer from higher body temperature to lower body temperature, and it is called lattice vibration. And in pure metal it is due to lattice vibration as well as due to free electrons. But in case of alloys, it is equal between the two modes, free electrons and lattice vibration. While in case of insulators, the lattice vibration mode is the main one, because in insulator or in non-metals there are no any free electrons. So the heat will be transferred by only lattice vibration. While in case of gases, the mechanism of heat conduction is simple. The kinetic energy of molecules are a function of temperature. These molecules are in continuous in random motion, exchanging energy and momentum. When molecules from a higher temperature region to collides with molecules from the low temperature region, it loses energy by collision. So in case of gases, thermal conductivity increases with temperature due to increased random activity of atoms or molecules. While in case of liquids, the mechanism of heat transfer is near to that of gases. However, the molecules are more closely packed, and intermolecular forces are come into play. Thermal conductivity is found to vary with temperature. In good conductors, thermal conductivity decreases with increase in temperature due to impedance to electrons flow at higher electron densities. In non-metals or insulator, there is no any free electrons. The heat is transferred mainly by lattice vibration, and with increasing temperature the lattice vibration increases, so the thermal conductivity increases with increase in temperature in case of a non-metal. Thermal conductivity depend essentially on material structure, moisture content, density of the material, and operating conditions like as pressure and temperature. It will also depend on these parameters. So let's discuss one by one. So thermal conductivity of metal varies considerably when it is heat treated or mechanically processed or formed. So whenever we are doing any heat treatment process on metal, or we are doing any mechanical operation, so at that time also the thermal conductivity will change. Thermal conductivity of most metal decreases with increase in temperature. Here aluminum and uranium being an exceptional case. In most liquid, the thermal conductivity tends to decrease with temperature due to decrease in density with increase in temperature. Here also the water being an exceptional case. Next point, the dependence of thermal conductivity on temperature for most material is almost linear. So mathematically it will be represented by K equal to K0 multiplied by 1 plus beta T. Here K0 means thermal conductivity at 0 degree Celsius, and beta is the temperature coefficient of thermal conductivity, and its unit is 1 upon degree Celsius. In case of a solid and liquids, thermal conductivity is only very weakly dependent on pressure, while in case of a gases the value of K is independent of pressure, nearly at standard atmospheric pressure. In case of a non-metallic solid, the thermal conductivity of porous materials depend upon the type of gas or liquid present in the voids. Thermal conductivity of a damp material is considerably higher than that of the dry materials and water taken individually. So it will also depend on percentage of moisture in the material. So thermal conductivity increases with increases in density in case of a non-metal.